Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with The Dangers in My Heart season 2 episode number 13, and this is the final episode of this season. So the previous episode, we had the school trip. Ichikawa and Yamada both of them were pretty excited, but then Yamada realized that the day of the school trip coincides with one of her auditions, and she was very excited about this audition. It's the audition, probably I think, for the live action for that manga, the manga that they really love, and she was really excited about it. But and she wanted to talk about it to Ichikawa, but when she video called Ichikawa, she realized that Ichikawa was looking forward to it, and she remembered that Ichikawa told before to her that how he never went to a school trip before, and about his problems and stuff. So she decides to keep it to herself and not mention anything and go on the school trip. And yeah, throughout the whole school trip she's not happy, and Ichikawa thought something else. He thought that she's trying to like confess to him or something like that, but he realized that that's not the case. And yeah, now he's trying to help Yamada out, but the teachers are outside, and all they were almost caught. So Yamada brought him to the girls' room, and there's like everyone is just there, and she like put him inside the blanket, and that's where it ended. So I don't know what's going to happen today, and I'm sure Ichikawa will probably talk to her about it and tell her to somehow make sure that she's able to go and do the audition. I don't know. Let's see what happens. So yeah, let us begin. Yeah, I'll be putting the subtitles on the timer here. Sync it whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh my god. Oh lord. Oh boy, starting with her. She just goes to sleep. Okay. Oh no. uh, hmm. Hmm. She's quite persistent. Cat's like, because you know Ichikawa's. Yeah, obviously she's like, yeah, then me too. Too. What? Um, yeah, like it depends on people. Uh, okay, stop it. Okay, she's just okay. Hmm. Like, yeah, then I feel like that'll be better. Oh, oh my God. Oh, good God. Prime numbers? 10 is not a prime number? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, I want to talk to. Oh, her face. What? Oh no, this is bad. This is bad. Oh yeah, she was trying to go to Hara's room. Okay, perfect time. Leave. Leave. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Right, now is the time. Yeah, I've like a lot of animes say that like if you go through the Oh wait, what? But I've also heard in other animes also mentioned this. I'm guessing it's just a like a yeah, like also another thing. When is that day? Is it today or tomorrow? The audition? Mm, yeah. Oh, okay. Now is the time for you to yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, she wanted him to have fun. Mm. That's why she's wearing the mask. Yeah. Hmm. And she's feeling bad that. Hmm. Oh, he's worn the mask. Wow. No, he's not saying that in a negative way. Yeah. Wow. He took up the mask. Mm. Oh, he did it. There we go. Wow. Okay, I wasn't expecting. I guess I did kind of expect it today because it was the final episode, but I didn't know whether it would happen or not. Oh my god, stop it. Run! Run! You think so? Oh! Oh, is he bringing her to the. I guess. Can. Is it possible for the audition? Tiniest part of her life. Yeah, there you go. Oh, it's tomorrow. Okay, okay. Yeah. He was afraid that, like she changed because of him. Like, I'll talk about this later. Just like how he changed because of her, he didn't want her to change because of him. Because, okay, I'll talk about it later. Like, she knows about the audition, so yeah. Oh, yeah. Bruh. Leader. Oh, everyone's probably, yeah, concerned. Well, hmm. Oh, okay, okay. I was thinking yeah, what? They were in the same club. Yeah, like just. Oh boy. Hmm. Oh. Dumb keychain. Wow. What? Damn, a whole shopping list. Yeah, don't mention her. And okay, great. Here we go again. What the? Bruh. What's happening here? Oh my god. Yeah, there you go. Nice. Yeah, every time I see him, it's so big. Me, me, what? Okay, I wasn't able to read it properly. Uh, is he going to her house? Most probably. Where else will he be going? Damn, Nigorikawa. Oh, maybe, usual spot. Yeah, where they have maybe school the first place where they properly conversed maybe. Oh, library. Okay, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, she came directly from audition, I'm guessing. No, she was eating. Oh boy. Yeah, like there's been a lot of places they went. I was going to say that. Oh boy. Wow, that was a pun. So, did she pass? Okay, I guess they won't really get the results immediately. Mm. There you go. Wow. There you go. Well, in 2 seasons, not even 2 seasons. It is technically supposed to be 1 season because this is two course, two parts. Wow. Ah. Yeah. Oh my God, yo. Uh, wow. Cock blocked by your nose. Oh boy. Mm. There's no way this is real. Well. Mm. Oh wow, wow. That was a great conclusion to this season. Oh, the first season's ending. Wow, that was well put together. Now, hopefully this gets a season 3 because I'm pretty sure the manga is ongoing. But as far as I know, the manga like I think we don't have much source material for a complete season. So I think it'll be quite a long wait. Like not long, I would say maybe like at least 2 years, maybe something like that. Like 1 year, 1.5 year. I feel I wouldn't be surprised it takes that long because I don't know. Let me know. People who read the manga will probably be able to explain properly. I think we don't have enough source material for another season. And usually, what I've seen how they do it is like they wait for source material enough for 24 episodes. Then they adapt the first half, take a little break, and then they adapt the second half. That's how they usually do anime adaptations nowadays. They wait for enough source material for 2 seasons or two halves, and they do it like that. So that's how this was done. The first half came in the previous year. 1 year later, this half came. So now we'll have to wait for the source material to move forward at least enough for 2 seasons, and then we'll get another one. I think. I don't know. Most probably, but yeah, we probably will have to wait for this because yeah. Let me know. Like I said, I'm not really sure. The manga readers will probably be able to explain more about this. Okay, that was this episode. Great ending to this season, and yeah, hopefully, like I said, I don't think we're going to get any quick sequels because there probably isn't enough source material. However, like the only thing that I would wish is that even if it's late, hopefully we get another you know another sequel or something like that because yeah, it's this show is just so good, and it has done this, like, this whole thing so beautifully. They've nailed every single thing that, like, a rom-com show should deal with, and could, like, could do. They've nailed every single thing, and it's not too short. The developments are not too short, nor it's too long, something like that, which is just perfect in my opinion. Because, obviously, you've definitely, like, have heard complaints about rom-com shows which drag the whole relationship throughout multiple seasons, like 3, 4, 5 seasons. Like, like they never confess. It continues on and on and on. Like, I've seen a few shows like that, and it's very weird. Like, it just feels like the show is deliberately, like, making you wait and dragging it for the sake of it. So just like how that is very, like, weird and annoying in my opinion, I would also say the complete opposite in my opinion is also not, I don't know, not, like, doesn't feel good. For example, I've seen a lot of shows where they literally confess in the first chapter. Literally in the first chapter they confess. And a few people really like that. However, I am probably in the minority who would say that I'm not happy about that type of development as well. Because, like, yeah, I guess there are shows which shows the whole, like, thing from a couple's perspective, like after they start, like, going out with each other in the very first episode. Then they show their development. They're okay, but I'm not really a big fan of those type of shows myself, because I feel like the development which happens up until that point is very important as well. So this show which does that perfectly, is neither too long, the development's not too short. I think this is perfect for my tastes. This is, like I said, this is the end of part 2. 25th episode, they confessed. 25 episodes is more than good enough for a good, like, character development. And now, since the manga is still ongoing, I'm guessing from here onwards, after they're going out, we're going to continue, like, like, exploring their relation, and, like, improving their character development, and, developing more of their characters from here onward as well. So that's why I'm saying this is perfect. Like, it's neither too quick nor too slow. It's like just in the perfect position. This happened. And I'm just glad that, yeah, this has been able to, they were able to do this so perfectly. And honestly speaking, that I feel like the adaptation has been perfect. Like, I don't know, like, how the manga goes, or how, like, I have read the manga, but I didn't read these parts. I had no clue about any of these. I think I read up until season 1, as far as I can remember. From season 2 onwards, like, I had no clue about what's going to happen. So up until season 1, I did read the manga, now that I think about it, and I forgot most of the things. But from here onwards, I had no clue. So, I wasn't expecting this at all to be this quick, but I'm very happy that this happened. And, from people who have read the manga, they'll probably be able to tell how the season was from a manga reader's perspective. But I've heard most people, like, praise this, so I'm guessing the adaptation has been faithful and has been good. And looking at it, and looking at the show itself, it seems really good, like the animation and everything. I feel like season 2, like pumped it up a little bit more. Like, season 1 was good animation wise and everything wise, but I feel like season 2 even, like, went further. It improved it even more. And season 2 looks even better than season 1, and I feel like they did this season so much more perfectly. Like, season 1 was good, but season 2, like, went above and beyond. And I'm just so happy that this got, like, the love and care that it deserved. And yeah, so, like, that was great. Yeah. Now, a few things I need to talk about. Overall, first of all, I'll make a different video talking about this show in itself. I've always wanted to make a video on this, like, kind of giving a little review. Now that we are at the end of season 2, I feel like it's a perfect time to make a little video and talk about it, like, in its entirety. But I'm just going to give my, like, I'll talk more details in that video. But for now, I'm just going to give a little bit of my thoughts about the show as a whole, As if you've been watching my reactions, you probably know I've said this before as well. I love the way this show handles his relations. How like we see Ichikawa and Anna, both of them grow in their own perspective, respective, like troubles. They decide they are able to like go against it and conquer it. And I love how each of them does that because of the other person's influence. Like Anna gets influenced by Ichikawa while Ichikawa gets influenced by Anna. And I love how the developments happen side by side. It's not like focused on one character on its entirety for a one single arc and then switches to the other character and focuses on that character. It's not like that. Most of the anime and like rom-com shows I've seen, any type of character developments are done like that. Like it's as if like, oh, it's time for this character to grow, so we have a little arc for that character. Then it's time for the other character to grow. So it's like this. But I like how I've seen this from the very first episode. This show loves doing it together, which I feel like seems so much more natural and so much better. Like it seems like they're moving side by side together. Like if one person overtakes the other person in character development, you know the other person also like starts going at a similar pace and starts like overtaking the other. It's constantly like each one of them is like kind of moving forward at their own pace, but slowly, but like surely together. It's not that one character development happens and the other character is just left in the dust for a certain amount of time and then it's the time for the other character. No, it's as if like they're walking together, and like every single like episode where there's character development, I've noticed this pattern. Like we've seen a lot of like sections where we see Ichikawa doing something that he has never done before. He has gathered the courage to do something, you know and then he suddenly, while trying to do it, he's at a he's kind of he gets like stuck for a moment, you know and then you see Anna coming in, and Anna tries to help him out with it, and she herself does something that she has never done, showing her character growth, you know and this continues, and then Ichikawa again gathers back his courage again, and he continues doing it. Like it's like that, like both of them together. That's the beautiful formula of this show, like that the way they do it, how both of them simultaneously at the same time help each other out to go through a situation, you know um and I just love that. I feel like that makes their bond even stronger, and that makes the chemistry of these two characters even more stronger in this show. And I feel like a lot of more like a lot of shows should follow this. A lot of rom-com shows should follow this example, because it feels so much better, in my opinion, when both the characters are giving their all, for a certain situation. It's not one character's, like it's not one character. It doesn't fall on one character. If the one character is stuck at something, the other character helps out, and if that character gets stuck in something, the other characters help out. Happens together. I've always loved that thing about this show. This show does it perfectly, and I've seen it in multiple episodes. This happening, and it's so good to see. And not only that, like seeing how these two characters little by little grow. Anna is someone who is seem like it seems like she has everything, while Ichikawa was someone who seemed like he had nothing. And like that's how the story started. The popular girl, while the loner, that kind of thing. But we get to see how each of them gets attracted to the thing that the other person didn't have. Like for example, as you can see today, Anna says that I like, even though like I had so many friends and family and like and everything, I still I'm very like wishy. What does she say? What was that exact statement that she said? Where is that part? Here we go. I showed that I'm a weakling. Okay, here we go. Yeah, wishy-washy, there you go. Always wishy-washy and jealous of people. Thinking every thought that gets me anxious. Not only that, there's another thing we had noticed about Anna, which is that she's very concerned and very afraid of disappointing others, or like or disappointing others' vision of her. Like how others see her. She's afraid of disappointing their, like, the way of looking at her. Like like afraid of disappointing, like, and like doing something that will like make others be disappointed in her. We've seen that, she has herself has mentioned that, and we've always seen her, like kind of hold back her own thoughts and hold back her own problems, because she thought that there's a possibility that if I voice my opinion, or if I voice what I think, other people will be disappointed about me. So things like that we've seen. Like this is like, like this is the thing that, yeah, Anna had from the very beginning. While Ichikawa was that person who, as we saw, always like always thought that something that always like, something that he wants, he always thought that he won't be able to get it. That is why he never made any effort, or not only effort, but he actively made an effort to act as if he doesn't want it, so that he doesn't get disappointed later. And this was Ichikawa's, like, like the whole problem, as we saw before as well. As we saw when he was a kid, when you remember that episode where he went to the mall and there was like a gaming console, and he was very excited looking at it, and when her sister was like, oh, you want that, should I tell mom about it, he was like, oh no, I don't want it, I don't play, I'm not a kid, something like that. But he really wanted it, because and that's what he does. He thinks that something is out of his reach, so he acts as if he doesn't want it, or he acts negatively towards it, to you know to convince himself that, oh, I never wanted this, that kind of thing. But that in itself is running away, which he always did. So you can see how, coming in contact with Yamada, he was able to, like, get out of that. He was able to have friends, and he was able to have a better understanding and look at the world. And that's what he says here, that, you changed my world. Yeah, like, my way of looking at everything was so different. And then, like, I talked with you, and little by little everything changed. My way of looking at the world changed, and everything else changed. Yeah, so both, like, both had, something that, I guess you could say, the other or both had something that the other could learn from, something like that. And that is why they, like, their interactions and everything was such a better, like, like, such a, like improved both of them, developed both of them, and helped them out in each other's problems, like their interactions with each other. And each became, like, I guess you could say, each became like the strength for the other person, something like that. So yeah, that is what this show is about. And it does everything so beautifully and perfectly, right? And yeah, that is it. I'm just going to, like, like, I'll talk about this in details in the other video. I'll talk about everything that I loved about this show when I make that video. But yeah, for now, that's, I'm going to stop here. So this episode was really good. Now let me talk about this episode. So basically, today's episode was Ichikawa trying to, trying to tell Yamada about the whole audition thing, that he knows about it. And he does that in the end, but not before he confesses. He confesses first, as you can see, and then he drags her out to the train station, and he's like, oh, you have the auditions, you go. Now here's a very interesting thing you can see, which Ichikawa says. So Ichikawa says, where is that part? That he was afraid of the fact that Yamada might have changed. Now you see the part where he goes, like, under with the mask, when Anna has the mask on her face, and she's kind of like acting as if she's, like, very calm and very cool about it. But then Ichikawa brings down the mask, and she sees that she is not happy, her face is not, like smiling, and she like starts tearing up. So you can see that is where he says that, oh, I'm glad, and at first I was like, what is he talking about? But then I realized what he said and what he meant by that. He kind of elaborates about it later. He says later on that I'm glad that you haven't changed. So here's the thing, this is very interesting because, as you can see, Ichikawa knows and he believes that Yamada is the reason why he changed, and he believes that wholeheartedly, and he knows that, the way he is now, he has, so many friends, he can talk to girls now, he has something to look forward to life, not just in that corner just sitting down looking at his, like, what was it called, murder encyclopedia or whatever. Not that kid anymore. And he knows that, and he knows from where he was and now where he is. He knows the positive influence that Yamada has had in his life and how Yamada changed him. So, he was afraid for a moment that Yamada has changed, because, as he says, the one thing that I really loved about Yamada is that she loves her job. She gives her everything, like, that is related to her job, or all that stuff, her wholehearted attention, and he genuinely enjoys it. I think something like that he kind of says. So he was afraid, like, seeing Yamada trying to act as if nothing is wrong and everything is fine. She was afraid maybe that part of her changed, and that is why when he took down the mask and he saw she was in a dilemma and she was sad and she was crying, he was like, oh, thank God you haven't changed. So why was he afraid of that change? Because that quality that he loved about Yamada, if she changed, if she genuinely changed, if she didn't care about the audition as much as hanging out with them, if that's what happened to Yamada, then Ichikawa would be like, it was because of me that this happened. Because of my influence, Yamada became like this. And I think he would be very devastated about that, because the same Yamada who was such a positive influence to him, he would realize that that same Yamada, he has been a negative influence to her. And I feel like that would probably make him like devastated, because like, just imagine, like, someone who is a very positive influence to you and you respect that person very much, if you realize that you hanging out with that person has been a negative influence to that person, that would be really devastating. And, like, I don't know, I feel like that's one of the reasons why he was relieved that Yamada hasn't changed. She still is like that part about Yamada that he genuinely respected and loved. He got relieved that it didn't change. She's still like that. And that's why he said that, oh, thank God. And I think he kind of mentions it later as well. Where is that part where where is it? Here we go. I'm just glad to see you're still you. There you go. This part. So I think that's why, because like, yeah, and he knows that probably looking at the what was that school diary that he had from the video call, he knows that she went with him and didn't go to the audition because of that. So yeah, it would mean that he was the reason why Yamada would have changed. And he probably would be very sad about it, because he would realize that he has not been as much of a good influence to Yamada as much as she has been to him. I don't know, that's just how I see this. And also the fact that, like, as he says, like, this is one of the things about Yamada that I genuinely respect and love. So seeing that change is definitely, yeah. Right, and that's what he says. So there you go. Okay, other than that, today's episode was like that part, that whole section with Yamada, that conversation. And oh, before that, we get to the whole. There has been a power cut, I think, but it's just. Wait a minute. Is everything going okay? Yeah, there was a, I probably cut it out, but there was a very brief power cut. Good God. Just a minute, guys. Right. So yeah, as I was saying. Anyways, so yeah, that was what happened. Just a minute. Okay, where was I? Yeah. So I was talking about the episode. Yeah. Okay. So that was that, and then there was the very first part where we get to the whole him stuck inside, the girl's room, and Yamada like shoving him inside the blanket. That part. Right, and like they came very close to almost like like smooching, but Kanzaki dropped in, and that whole like thing happened. And he wasn't able to tell anything about the audition on that day, so he was like, "Yeah, I'll talk about this to you in the next day." Yeah, so that was that, and then that whole conversation. I talked about that in details, and how Ichikawa was afraid that maybe Yamada has changed, but after seeing that she's very sad about the whole thing, he was relieved. And that's why he also confessed here, as you can see, and then I feel like the confession would probably go pretty okay. Like I'm sure Yamada would have confessed back as well. But then those girls suddenly came in, and that I forgot her name with the whole flash mob thing. So they had to like run away from there. And thankfully, the whole brunt of the thing went, like transferred from them to Kanzaki and Hara, because they also, I'm guessing, they're going out now. So that's all well and good. But yeah, and then they went back to the train station, and yeah, and this is where they have the conversation, and Yamada's like, "I'll talk to you later. I'll give you my answer." Um, yeah, so there you go. And then after coming back, you know, Ichikawa was like, "I did tell her that I'm like, yeah, like there was a particular thing he said. Where is that part? Uh, oh yeah, I am strong. Um, where is it? Where he says that, yeah, here we go. I still would be okay without you around. That one thing. So he says like I said that, but obviously I do want to talk to her. So he like tries to go back, and he sees the message where he's written that meet you at the usual place. So I was also thinking, what usual place? Because they have been hanging out for a while, and they've gone to a lot of places. And then I realized like, oh yeah, the library makes sense, because that's where they properly met for the first time. You know. Yeah, and there you go. There they went and they had the conversation. Anna confessed, like gave him the answer, and yeah, there you go. That was beautifully done. And yeah, now like I said, I'm looking forward to what's going to happen here from here onwards, and I feel like the manga will take a while for the manga to, like for the anime to come back, because I don't know. I think the manga source material isn't enough, but if you read the manga, you can let me know if there is enough source material for another season or not. But I think it's probably there isn't. If that's the case, then we'll probably have to wait. But you know what? How long? Well, it doesn't matter how much long we have to wait. I hope we get a continuation to this as well. And yeah, I'm just tempted to continue with the manga, but I will probably hold myself back because I want to watch the anime and react to it. So we'll see. Right, and there you go. That was that. Now that was today's episode. Great way they ended this, and yeah, I'll miss this show, man. This was a show that I really loved. Like it just it was something. And I don't think I've ever seen, like, I feel like I'll probably like this. There has been a very few very good rom-com shows, but I feel like this like is at the top of my list now. Like it doesn't matter, like this is at the top because I just love the way they do this. This show has like a charm, such a unique charm to it that I don't think I've seen in any show, any other show. Yeah. Okay, so there you go. That was it. Now let me just go through the scenes scene by scene and see if I missed any something maybe I wanted to discuss. Let's see. So the very first section, we get to see Yamada in the room, Ichikawa in the room, inside the blanket, and everyone's like asking about like gossips and stuff. And one of the girls are like, "Oh, Yamada, what do you have someone you like?" Stuff like that. They kind of ask her, and I love how she says like at first she says like, oh, the interesting type, and then she says like, oh, a person who's like a cat. And if you remember, she kind of mentioned before in the previous episode to that girl that, oh, Ichika was like a cat, if you remember that. Oh boy, that's funny. um Anyways, they talk about like whether someone has been asked out or something, and like, and here we have a few of them who are like, oh, like there's no need to asking out or confession and everything. I think it's Moeko, wasn't it, who said that? Yeah. And it just happens, something like that. And I'm like, come on, it depends on people, like there's different people who do it in a different way. It's not the same for everyone. Some people would prefer to be confessed to or confess. Some people don't. It just happens. It depends on the situation, on the circumstance. Yeah. So and they're 13 years old, 14 years old, I think. Like obviously they will like confession is like something that they'll definitely do. They're not adults. Like come on. Right. Either way, so all that conversation they're having, and you can see like Yamada's like, oh no, I would like to get confessed to, you know. Right. And then like the turn off the what's it called, lights. And then Yamada comes close to Ichikawa, and this whole thing, like this whole part where they almost kissed, this part, and then freaking Kanzaki comes in. Oh no, Kanzaki comes in later. At first, like Ichika was like, "Oh, I'll, like I have something to tell you," and then Kanzaki comes in, dangling out the window. Good God, that was funny, and that's what he was planning. If you remember in the previous episode, he was planning Hara's like room where it was, planning to like tie the blankets and drop down. Right. And yeah, taking that opportunity, they were able to rush out. And yeah, Ichikawa and Yaman's like, okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. So next day, you can see, I think the I don't know what this called. The gates, they're called Tori, aren't they? Yeah. In that like that thing, they're over there, and Yamada is in a fox mask. And at first I didn't understand why I didn't realize there was a significant meaning behind her wearing the fox mask. But then later on I realized that it's because she's hiding her tears throughout the whole part. She was acting as if everything was fine, but she was hiding her tears. That's why she was constantly wearing the fox mask. And here is where their group starts going in this direction, while Yamada starts going in this direction, and Ichikawa follows her. And they have the conversation, and he's like, oh, you having fun? And he's like, yeah. At which Ichikawa takes off the mask, and then he's like, there you go, I knew it. And they have this conversation, and Ichikawa and Yamada's like, like I did this on my own. I decided not to tell you, and I took this decision on my own, and I thought that I'll have fun here, but I cannot. And she feels bad for acting like that, because she feels bad that she was the one who took this decision, but she's not able to digest it now. And she's sad for the fact that she isn't able to have as much as fun as she wanted to, because she definitely wanted to have fun with Ichikawa, but she doesn't have the mood for it, and she feels guilty because she's the reason why that happened. And it's a complicated feeling. I understand that. And she was sad, and she's like, I'm so selfish, this and that. and she's crying, and at which Ichika's like, thinking that I'm kind of relieved that this she's still her, she hasn't changed. And yeah, and here Ichikawa is also tearing up, you can see. So Ichikawa takes up the mask. And oh, one thing I want to talk about here, I forgot to mention it. I love this scene as well very much, because you can see at first Ichikawa tries to hide his tears by putting on the mask. But then when he says like, I'm strong, I'm fine without you, not in that way obviously. And I love how Yamada at first was like, well, what are you saying, that's mean. But he didn't mean it in that way. He's just saying that, yeah, I'm fine, like on my own, I can handle myself, like, yeah. And he says like, that is because, and that is because of you. You were the reason I was able to get out of this whole, like this place. And now I have friends, now I can talk to people, and now I have such a bright, like, world in front of me, unlike the me before. So yeah, and he says it like, you 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 made my world colorful. I think that's what he says here. Yeah. And I'll admit it, I like school, but it's only because you were there. You showed me this world. And like I said, I like this scene very much, because at first he was hiding his tears, but then when he says and he admits that he's strong enough, he's able to take out that mask and show his tears to Yamada as well. Showing that, yeah, like he can share his feelings as well. He was hiding it at first with the mask, but then he decides to take the mask off. And this is where he confesses. And another reason why he took off the mask is probably because he wanted to look directly at Yamada while confessing, not through a mask. So that's also another reason. So he takes it out and he confesses. And there you go. And Yamada is shocked. Obviously, she wasn't expecting him to confess. But yeah, those girls start following them here. And even though the yellow-haired girl, I forgot her name, it starts with H, he tried to stop the other girl, but she wasn't listening. She wanted her flash mob or whatever. And yeah, they come out, and thankfully Hara and Kanzaki was able to mitigate the whole thing over there. So they go to the train station, and this is where Ichika's like, go to your audition, I know about it. And he puts in the snacks, and he's like, here we go, here's the snacks and everything. So yeah. And Yamada is like, I'll give the answer, I want to tell it to you loud as well, so after the audition. And then Chi also comes in. Chi gives her the book, and she's like, don't worry, I'll handle it, don't worry about it, I'll talk to the teachers, you go. And yeah, and then there she is off. And later on you see like the girls are all like, just the whole flash mob thing with Kanzaki and Hara. Hara's pissed. Hara's like, the hell is this? Can you please stop this? I don't like it. Right. And now you can see Ichikawa has, after this whole thing, Ichikawa himself has decided to probably like, like give his best as well. You can see he was looking at like those cram school advertisements, because I guess they will be graduating soon after this. Like, not soon, but it will happen eventually. So for that, he's like looking at cram schools for, I'm guessing, like having like a better and like, having like um, more options, in the future to increase it. I guess Ichikawa himself is pretty smart, isn't he? Like, I think he's like at the top rankings academically, as far as I can remember. But still, I'm guessing he still wants to, kind of, yeah. So either way, and he also puts in the thing, the one thing that you tie in that place, you write your wish. There he wrote that as well. What did he write? Like something related to that, like entrance exam. Yeah, here we go. I hope I pass the entrance exams. There you go. And yeah, and then his mom and sister calls him, tells him to buy souvenirs. Then he does a little thing with, like kind of a little fighting thing with Adachi, all that stuff. And after that, yeah, there you go. So later we get to know that Yamada called her home, and her parents came in and helped her out with everything. And there you go. And in the message, she has written that, meet you in our usual place. And you can see Ichikawa say here that even though I told her that I'm fine, I do still want to meet her. and he's thinking like where is the usual place, because I was also thinking there's been a lot of places that they actually like met and talked. For example, the first place he comes here is outside the department store. Then there was like that park where they meet, also what's that place, the the place where they exchanged the Valentine's cupcakes and everything, like a lot of places. But then obviously the main one is the school and in the library, and he goes there and he sees that, yeah, Yamada's there. And there you go. He asked, first and foremost, he asks like what happened to the audition, and she's like, I don't know, I gave it my best, don't know what will happen, but there you go. And then she says, this is where she says like, I'm a mess, I myself did this, but I was always like, like I was in a wishy-washy, like I'm always wishy-washy, I'm always just overthinking things, like yeah, I'm a pain to deal with, but that is who I am, and I like who I am now, but it's because of you. You were able to make me realize that, and now, and this is the thing, like I said, you've seen her before trying to make other people, like trying to not disappoint other people or let other people down, and that's why, like, hiding her own feelings, not being honest with herself, trying to do that. But now she says that, you know what, I know I'm like that, but i I like that about myself. I have to accept that about myself. And since she has said that, and she says that you made me realize that, from here onwards I'm hoping that she will probably try her best to not be like that, where she downplays her own choices or her own thoughts about something to, like, make others happy, which she used to do before. Now that she's saying like, I like myself more, I feel like she's going to respect her own opinions about stuff, and she'll, little by little, she'll be able to change that. So yeah, that's good. And this is what I said, like, each had their own problems, and each were able to learn from the other about fixing their own problem, and that is what makes it so good. And yeah, and then she says like, like, you made me realize who I am, Kyotaro Ichikawa, you're the most important person, you're more important than anything. And then she confesses, like, I like you as well. No, what did she say here? The exact words? Oh, I love you, or Daisuki, yeah. And she says, will you go out with me? And there you go. This part is funny, where they try to kiss, but then the noses like collide with each other, I think. No, what happened? Like, their foreheads collide? I don't know. Whatever happened here. So yeah, then she gives like a little peck on his cheek and runs away. That's cute. And there you go. Yeah, and that's it. That's where it ended. Great. That was amazing. And yeah, like I said, I just, yeah, there's just, what can I say? There's just so much, so much that this anime was able to do in these few episodes, which a lot of animes are not able to do even in a few seasons. So yeah, I just love how it wasn't rushed, or it wasn't like dragged. The developments, the amount of time it required was perfect. It wasn't dragged out, or it wasn't rushed. So it's perfect. And now that the whole confession has happened, like I said, we're probably going to now go into after they start going out with each other, and we're going to explore that from here onwards. Like, and there might be new trouble, new problem, new things they might need to overcome, but that is what it is. Like, obviously, it's not as if like, oh, you start going out with each other, everything magically becomes okay. There's no problem or anything in the film. I doubt that's going to happen. But just like we have seen, them going through the different problems up until now, little by little, overcoming them in their own way. I'm sure they're going to do it from here onwards as well. And yeah, there you go. That was amazing. So that is it, guys. Great show. Like I said, I feel like this is at the top of my rom-com list now. Like, I'm not joking. You know, I'm serious. This is at the top now. Like, I just love the way that this show is done, and I love the way they are able to, like, the whole thing is just so good. It feels perfect. And yeah, so there you go. That is it. And yeah, I'm just hoping that we get a continuation for this in the future, even if it's not now. Hopefully, somewhere down the line, I hope we can continue this. And I think it should, because, you know, like, I've heard other people say as well. This has been quite popular in Japan, and it has been quite popular in the Western community as well, as we can see. So yeah, hopefully it gets a continuation. I doubt there has been any announcements. I doubt that, because I think they don't have enough source material. But let me just check. You know, let me still check. Excuse me. Right, wait a minute. No, there has been no announcement. Obvious. I knew it. I doubt there will be any announcement anytime soon. But yeah. But I think, like Twin Yaba is going to be continuing still. It's called Twin Yaba, isn't it? Wait a minute, let me check. Twin Yaba. No, Tui Yaba. Sorry, not Twin Yaba. Something like that. Yeah. Tui Yaba. So yeah, maybe we're going to get like some OVAs and stuff, just like how, like, we got that one OVA with the Tui Yaba. Maybe we're going to get some stuff like that. But you know, the actual anime, I feel like it'll take them a while to get enough source material and then continue it. But you know, I'm ready to wait. I'm ready to wait. I just want it to continue somewhere down the line. That's all I want. So yeah, that is it. So thanks for watching, guys. This was my reaction to the final episode of The Dangers in My Heart season 2. Yeah, so thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And that is it. Thank you for watching. And yeah, it has been a great journey, and I'm just glad that I was able to react to this and that I decided to react to this. So I'll see you guys in the next anime reaction, whichever replaces this. So yeah, until then, goodbye and have a nice day.